Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about multiple representations for the second time. The first few questions are going to be very similar to this starting layout. So let's go through the first one together and then the next two you will do. They gave us an equation in standard form and we're going to need to change it into slope-intercept form. If we're going to change this into y equals mx plus b, then we should start by moving the 3x to the right. To move the 3x to the right, we need to remove it from the left by subtracting it. That'll leave you with just y equals 4 minus 3x, which is almost slope-intercept form, but we should put the slope in x first. The negative 3 is the slope, x is just x, and then that 4, that was a positive 4, so it's going to stay a positive 4. Now that we have our slope-intercept form, it should be really easy to make a table out of it. Since this one is more than just 3 spaces, let's put a couple negative numbers, like negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Normally, the smallest numbers are the easiest ones to plug into a linear equation. So negative 2 is pretty small, all the way to positive 2 is pretty small, with 0 and 1 being the easiest ones to use. So let's try that out. I'll do my work off to the side. We have negative 3x plus 4. Negative 3x plus 4 is how we get y. Alright, so we'll put negative 3 times negative 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 4, and that's 10. Negative 3 times negative 1 plus 4 is 3 plus 4, which makes 7. Negative 3 times 0 plus 4 times 0 doesn't matter, it's going to be 0, so just plus 4 means 4. Negative 3 times 1 plus 4 is negative 3 plus 4, which makes 1. Negative 3 times 2 plus 4 is negative 6 plus 4, and negative 6 plus 4 will make negative 2. Now that we have a table, it should be no problem to turn that into a graph. I can see 0, 4, 1, 1, 2, negative 2, negative 1, 7, and negative 2, 10. Negative 1, 7, negative 2, 10. This equation is not a word problem, so there are no boundaries, which means we should be able to connect this with a line. Let's make sure that our line touches all of the points. So that way we get an accurate y-intercept of 0, 4. The slope is negative 3. And we can say the graph of the function contains the point something when the value of x decreases by 1 unit, the value of x increases by 1 unit, the value of y decreases by, okay, so let's zoom in and see. As we go one space to the right, that's what it says. As we go from 0 to 1, that's what it means when it says increase by 1 unit. Increase by 1 unit means 1 unit to the right. The value of y decreases by, as we go one space to the right, our y is going down by 3. So decrease by 3 units. We don't have to put negative 3 because they already put the word decreasing right there, and that means negative, or that means subtracting from. The graph contains the point. I guess they just want any random point. Let's put negative 1, 7 is what I'm going to use. That's all for that part. Is the slope of the line positive or negative? Well, if I look at the graph, I can very easily tell that as we go from left to right, the graph is going downwards. So I use the graph to tell that the slope is negative. When the x value increases by 2, what happens to the y value? Increases by 2 means 2 spaces over. But you know what? We can look at the table for this because the graph is getting a little bit crowded now. So when x changes by plus 2, how is the y changing? From 4 to negative 2 is a minus 6. So the y value decreases by 6. And I saw that from the table. What is the value of x when y is negative 5? Alright, so if we look at the table, it's not there. If we look at the graph, if we find the number negative 5 for y, and we trace the line over, we find that that matches with the x number of 3. What is the value of x when y is negative 5? X is equal to 3. And I got that from the graph. Okay, in this next one, it's the same 4 things that need to be filled out. The difference is they gave you the graph, and you're going to need to turn this graph into either y minus y1 or y equals mx plus b. So once you get your equation, you're going to make a table, or you could just make the table from the graph, because you can just take these points straight off of here. Don't forget to answer the questions at the bottom. And then in the final one, they gave you most of the table.